Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year to you. Ask Grit is a program where we do live streams every single week, and this is the first one in the new year in 2022. Today we have Shine, Head of Sales in Sri Lanka. I assume most of the questions are from foreign investors, Shine.
That's right, Navin, and welcome everyone to the first edition of Ask Grit in 2022. Glad to be here and glad to answer all your questions. So these questions are a combination of clarifications that the team have come up with. These are questions that the team has been asked from their clients and investors, as well as the investors who have also logged in their questions for this particular edition. So shall we start off with the first one? I mean, let's just go back to last year. Now, in terms of the property market, how has the Australian property market performed in the last year, 2021?
I think 2021 has been one of the best years, probably the third highest property appreciations or surges which we have found in the history of Australian property market. Overall, property in the whole of Australia has appreciated by 22% per annum, which is quite phenomenal. And some states have gone like 25%, some have been about 15%, but average has been about 22%. That's a lot of appreciation for property. So overall, 2021 has been quite phenomenal in terms of property growth.
Brilliant. I mean, we have seen quite a lot of interest from foreigners as well, apart from the first home buyers and the investors from Australia, the residents, the citizens themselves. So what are your thoughts on what will happen in 2022-23? So this is a question that now lingers with this peak in the property market. Media comes in, starts making speculations, but what do you think? You're the expert. What do you think will happen in 2022-23?
Yeah, I mean, 2022, I think this momentum will keep going at least for the first 2 quarters of the year. And then it should stagnate towards the latter part of 2022. I mean, most of the banks and the economists predict still there will be between 7 to 10% growth in 2022 and at least 6 to 8% in 2023. There won't be a big deviation. I mean, you cannot expect 20 plus percent every single year. That's not realistic. It's part of the normal property cycle in like any other country. But the fundamentals are very, very strong. Population growth is just about to explode while the borders are opening. And that's one of the main factors. And all the other infrastructure projects and everything is going really strong. So the fundamentals are strong. So there won't be a huge deviation, but market will be stagnant towards the end of this year, but it'll be quite consistent.
Very interesting. Also, in terms of the interest rates, what would be the situation on the interest rates and lending standards in Australia at the moment, and what is the outlook for the near future on a perspective of the residents as well as the foreigners?
Yeah, so currently for the residents who are here, the fixed rates have increased slightly. Fixed interest rates have increased slightly. I mean, there has ever occurrences where people used to get below 2% when you're occupying your own home. I don't think that will be the case in 2022 in terms of fixed rates, but the variable rates has been the same. The cash rate by the Reserve Bank still remains at 0.1%, so that has not gone up. There's a lot of other factors such as CPI and so forth, unemployment rate, which the Reserve Bank looks at before the increase rates. Even if the rates increases, it's going to be quite marginal. And to get the interest rates to where it was, I think it will take at least 3 to 4 years. Initially, what all the economists were predicting was until 2023, 2024, the interest rates will remain low. I think that is still the case in terms of foreign investors, but they're paying right now between 4 to 5.5% based on where they're from, will remain the same. I don't see that going up. So 2022, 2023, for the next 2 years, I don't think there'll be a significant change. It's going to be unaffordable for anyone.
And what you're saying is now is the time. It's always now.
It is always now. I mean, property is not a short-term game. It's a long-term game. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. As long as you're looking at the next 5 to 10 years, you simply can't go wrong with Australian properties because the fundamentals are so strong. Now, there's only 25 million people in Australia, and there's so much potential.
Lovely. Also, will there be any changes in regulations for foreign investors? Do you think, a foreigner looking forward to 22, 23 and beyond, you think there will be any changes that would affect them or, better their chances, or would it be a little difficult for them? Do you think there will be any changes now?
It's a difficult question to answer because government is government in any country, but I really don't see any significant changes because right now there is foreign investment review board approvals which are required. I don't see that changing. There is a fee associated with that, and then there's a higher stamp duty as a foreigner that they have to pay. So as a foreigner, you can buy a property, but you've got to pay the higher stamp duty and the foreign investment review board fees, which is, it's a good amount of money for the government, and it's a win-win situation for everyone. It's good for the country. People are moving in, investments are coming in, and as a foreigner, when you invest, you're paying a little bit of a premium. But then, if you look at the long term, it's going to be insignificant when you look at the appreciations which you have been looking at for the last 5 years.
Right. Okay. Also, in terms of the cities, now we have quite a number of very popular cities in Australia that most of our Sri Lankans and foreigners are very familiar with. Now, we saw last year, according to the statistics, that Hobart did very well. It has the highest growth, and Perth being the lowest in terms of the major cities. In terms of going forward in the future, what do you think would be the best cities to invest in?
Yeah, it really depends on what the investor is looking at. If they are looking at monthly cash flow or rental income is their main driver, Canberra would be the best bet. Canberra has been doing really, really well, and the vacancy rates are really low, and time to rent it out just takes days, not weeks. So it's been very, very strong, and we ourselves have been experiencing that with our clients. And Canberra has been the highest rental yield which has been recorded for the past year or two. And I think that will remain strong. Canberra is getting a significant population in coming in. A lot of employment, universities are opening up. So the fundamentals are pretty strong in Canberra. But in terms of capital appreciation, if someone is looking at capital appreciation in the long term, 5 to 7 years time, Brisbane is doing extremely well with Olympics coming up. It's extremely hot, even during holidays. Adelaide is another place to watch out for. You can pick up properties for below 500,000. There'll be significant capital appreciation because there's a big mining boom happening in Adelaide. So I would say Brisbane, Adelaide for capital appreciation, Canberra for rental growth.
Great. Also, in terms of a foreigner now, most of these questions are from foreigners. Can a foreigner get financing from any bank or financial institution? What are the rates? Will it change?
No, foreigners cannot get finance from any bank, depending on if it's an expat who has a PR or citizenship. Yes, they have many options. Most of the banks do lend them. But if they don't have any PR or citizenship, it's a foreigner, then there's only few institutions who would lend them. We are looking at 5% to 5.5%, 5.6%. And it will depend on the country they live in, as well as their income stream, if they are self-employed, if they are working for someone. All those parameters will come into play, but there are lenders who would lend any foreigner who lives in any country. So there is a solution for everyone, but we need to go into finer details to advise on what exact interest rate, what exact term, and so forth.
Okay. Also, Navin, now when can we expect students to come back and overseas migrants, and I'm sure it will have an impact on the property market, going forward, going up and up. But when can, because what we hear is it just keeps getting postponed due to the pandemic. But what in your opinion? I mean, what's the news on that?
So students are back already. I think they announced on the 15th or 16th of December that students can come in. The next intake is in February, March. So students are moving in. We get a lot of inquiries from students and parents right now for accommodation. So they are gradually moving in. And this is going to have a surge in the rental market straight away because especially the CBD, close to the universities, the apartments were struggling because of lack of students. So that will be filled immediately. At the same time, especially the apartment market should have a rise and demand towards investors and the parents who would want to invest for their kids. The students are in, they are moving in until January, February, March. By March, I'm sure all the students will be back. And PR holder citizens are loved as well. So they are moving in, they're coming in for holidays, see their families and so forth. Foreigners are not yet allowed. There are some exemptions given for parents who have been away from their kids. But apart from that, foreigners are not yet allowed. I think they were trying to open up around February, but with the current surge in COVID, they don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, because we have quite a number of investors who don't have students or children studying there.
Yeah.
Who have a keen idea to invest, and before they do that, they need to visit and have a look. Which is why I believe this particular client threw this question our way as to when they can actually visit and feel comfortable. But on that note, I'd like to tell them that it's like being there. I know you're not there, but our team takes you around, gives you a tour, virtual tour. You will get to see every nook and corner of what you're buying. And even if you have friends or family there, we will take them as well and show them around. And it's like, it's like you being there, except that you're not physically there. But we make sure you have the experience of being there. So you'll be comfortable in what you're purchasing.
And that's exactly right. I mean, it's a challenging time for everyone. And we understand it's nothing like seeing, touching and feeling. But unfortunately, you cannot do it right now, but I'm sure within the next 6 months, borders will be open. I mean, you can't be closing these up indefinitely. So I'm sure it will be open in the next 6 months. We can't tell you when, but as you said, most definitely we'll do whatever it takes, videos, walkthroughs, whatever it is required to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah. Also, I mean, a very common question these days, given certain circumstances that certain parts of the world are encountering at the moment. What impact does buying property have on PR? A lot of interest, when it comes to buying property, but is the residency connected to it, and what sort of impact would it have?
Yeah, that's the most common question. Unfortunately, property is not linked to PR. Just because you buy a property, you won't get the PR. But having a property will be part of your asset pool, and that will definitely add value to you, especially if you're doing business migration. You got to show your assets, and having an asset in Australia will definitely add value to your application. It will not get you the PR, but it will help you. It will add value to you.
And Canberra offering 5 points. I think that is still on the cards. Is that right?
It's still on the cards. If you invest something over $250,000 or $300,000 as a property investment, you do get 5 points. That's definitely on the cards.
Okay. Another thing, when it comes to apartments, now we have some clients who come in and say, when they have a look at the layout of the properties or the apartments, mainly in Melbourne, they say that most of the apartments, although they are priced the way they are priced, are smaller than those found in Sri Lanka and other Asian countries. They're much smaller, the 2-bedders, the 3-bedders in comparison. And prices are actually also high. Okay, of course, it's Australia, So what are your thoughts on this in terms of the apartment sizes?
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I mean, if you look at Sri Lanka or India for that matter, or even Dubai, apartments are quite large in size in those countries. But at the same time, if you compare something with Hong Kong or Taiwan or China, then you would say Australian apartments are quite decent in size. I mean, you're looking at about 50 square meters for a one bedroom. That's about 550 square feet. It's not large, but those are the types of designs, and those won't change. And that's quite normal from Australian standards. Totally agreed. It's smaller than those countries, but these are the standards in Melbourne or Sydney or Brisbane for that matter, and it's quite normal. The market is used to it. It's understandable if someone is trying to live in such an apartment, it's going to be difficult because it's small. But I mean, those are the sizes, yeah.
Okay. Another very recent question, Navin. Can we purchase property in Australia through crypto as a foreigner?
Yeah, crypto is the trend right now. Unfortunately, not right now. I mean, as of yet, developers are not into it. I think that crypto market probably have to be a bit more matured than what it is right now. Not everyone believes in it. Yeah, so right now the answer is no.
Okay. Also, will you look after my property once it's purchased by you or through you?
Yeah,
that's another common question, because reason being is, as a foreigner,
yeah,
I'm here, my property is over there, and who's going to take care of it? I'm not there. So.
No, exactly. I mean, that's what we do, and that'll make a lot of overseas clients at ease, because we manage their properties, we look after it, and we do routine inspections. We manage the bills so that although you're not here, there is someone looking after it and keeping you up to date. So communication is going every month, every week, whenever the routine inspections are. You know what your income is, your expenses are, pictures, videos of your property. So that will be all taken care of by us.
Excellent, excellent. I think I'm out of questions, Navin.
Yeah, that's a good set of questions. And I mean, we tend to keep these short and sweet, 15-20 minutes, so that people who are watching it can grasp some information, and hopefully it'll add some value. I think there's one more someone has asked. The question is, when is the Sydney airport coming into action? The proposed completion date for Western Sydney Airport is 2026. 2026 is the year they're planning to launch that airport.
Lovely.
All right.
Navin, also, would you like to tell our viewers about the roadshow that we have planned over here in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, so we'll be doing a roadshow in Sri Lanka starting end of this month, from January, and it will span across towards end of March. Communication will go in pretty soon on all our social media channels and all possible media channels. So watch out for that. But there's definitely, the intention is for us to go into places where we have not been to, and so that we can meet them face to face and talk to them about their requirements of property investment needs. So we have a huge road plan ahead for this quarter, Sri Lanka as well as Dubai and that continent. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll be communicating to all of you very, very soon.
Great stuff, Navin. And yeah, I think we're done for today. Join us again on Ask Grit. We'll have different team members asking tough questions from Navin. You can be educated. So the purpose of all this is just to educate you, keep you informed, and you know, answer any of your questions that you might have, any clarifications that you need to make. So all the very best for 2022. and look forward to working with all of you.
All the very best.